Hey everyone! So it is time for week two. This week our opponent is Zach, and little known fact, Zach has actually been my best friend since first grade. So this ought to be fun. He and I, we love each other, but this week we are going to give it our all to make sure the other one does not end up winning. He's got a really scary team, but here's a overview of the over the standings. You can see last week did not go our way. We had a 1v2 versus Ian, and then we are not in the top four, and we need to be in top four for playoffs. So, if we check out the teams, though, these are the current teams. You can see I had some sweeping changes to my team. As you'll notice, there's no more Venusaur and Charizard Y. Heliolisk is gone. And the reason I did that is because I just felt the team played so linearly that down the stretch, I didn't want to just be, the Sun team or, I just felt like it played very linearly. And so I tried to draft a couple more things that had a bit more nuance to the way they played. Like for example, Frostlass. You could set up an Aurora Veil to make your bulkier stuff like Milotic harder to KO. Or I actually picked up Aggron off of Ben, who dropped it, thinking it would have a really good matchup down the stretch potentially into some things. So this is the team this week. Zach actually did not change his team at all. And yeah, so this is the team. And let me show off what we were bringing this week. So this is our Frostlass. This is the set we're running on it. Just a standard 32-32. This one is modest. I didn't feel as though I needed the extra speed. Aerodactyl was going to outspeed anyway. So I decided that, Tailwind from Whimsicott, I'd still be faster. So I'd rather hit harder. And so we are modest instead of timid this week. I'm bringing Simipour. I have heard good things about Simipour's matchup into Aerodactyl specifically. And since he has Aerodactyl, I am expecting to see that probably every game. And so I may lead this, or I may decide to, bring this as like a surprise option if he hasn't seen this before. It's fairly niche, so I'm not sure he knows about it getting fake out. And then also with the modest nature, if he doesn't Mega Aerodactyl, should be able to fake out and then go for Tailwind turn 1 and then Scald on the next turn. And then that should be able to take it out in one two hits, but before it really gets a chance to attack. As you'll notice, this is our Aggron that we're bringing. He is maxed out to, he's maxed out on his special defense, basically. He's so physically bulky when he megas anyway that there's really no reason to put any more into defense. So we're just going max HP, max special defense. And crucially, this is going to be able to... Zach has a Floette on his team. Crucially, Floette won't be able to get a one-shot into Aggron with any of its fairy moves. It's actually, I believe, three Light of Ruins to kill this. So that'll be huge because I can get one Heavy Slam, and if he goes for Light of Ruin, any chip damage that he's already given himself is enough for me to KO it in one. And I'm also hoping that if it's not running Light of Ruin, that if I chip it even a little bit, Heavy Slam is still able to pick up the KO on Floette. We've got Sneasler. This is going to be the bulky set for Sneasler. As you can see, its HP is maxed out and its defense is pretty high as well, with a 6 speed EVs. The reason for that is because it helps with the Aerodactyl matchup to be bulked out. It has a chance to survive Mega Aerodactyl's dual wing beat this way. It also, if it's regular Aerodactyl, it's guaranteed to survive a dual wing beat with this set. And that's the logic behind it. And then close combat, we're still adamant though because we want to do a little bit extra damage. So theoretically, it should be possible to fake out Aerodactyl and then on the following turn, go for close combat into it and potentially knock it out. I might need some help though from like Whimsicott though with a Moonblast or something in order to secure that knockout. Then we've got our Whimsicott. Whimsicott is actually unchanged from last week. I ran into something that had dual wing beat last week, so this is the same set for that. This is the Kova Berry, max bulk, max speed. Crucially, we are running Tailwind, as that'll be important in this matchup. So I think preserving Whimsicott this week is going to be big. Same for Sneasler, actually. And then we also have our Encore on here as well. So if maybe things don't go our way and maybe the Aerodactyl protects on turn 1, I can lock it into Protect or maybe lock it into Tailwind, something of that nature, and then have that offensive pressure taken off that it can't make a move. Then we've got Milotic as our last that we're bringing this week. I felt kind of weird about bringing both Simipour and Milotic, but they do different things for the most part. They're both supportive pieces, but I would argue that Simipour is actually a bit more offensive due to the fact that it's maxed out in its special attack. Maxed out in its special attack, and then Milotic is maxed out in its HP. So Milotic's going to be able to stick around a lot longer, and Simipour, with its modest nature and max special attack, is actually going to be a bit more offensive. So this is the team this week. I'm hoping that we get a good solid win in. Probably going to work around with some combination of leading Frostlass and Whimsicott, or Sneasler and Whimsicott, although if I really want to throw a curveball in it, if he's bringing all of his physical attackers, set up with Aggron on turn 1 could be huge too and pay dividends down the line. So we'll see what he does. Last week he actually didn't bring his Floette, so if he doesn't bring it this week, I think Aggron might actually come. His biggest threat into me is maybe not even Floette, with Sneasler being a threat to it, and Aggron also. But I really think that Arch is going to be, or his Arch Alladon is going to be a big threat to my team. Particularly, I think it can do like 60% to Aggron with a +1 Electro Shot. So I really can't afford to have his Arch Alladon being able to set up and put a lot of damage in. So if I get the chance to take it out, that needs to be priority number 1, I would say. All right, so we'll pick this up again when it's time for the battle. All right, guys, it is battle time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to ready up. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is big. He did not bring Floette at all. That is interesting. That means that Arch is going to be, I think, the main big threat that I need to be weary of. So I'm expecting Aerodactyl, Politoed, Arch, and then his 4th slot will either be Toxicroak, Rotom, or Runegregas. So I'm actually somewhat relieved he's not bringing Floette. It's just one less thing that I had to prepare for, I guess. Let's see. I think I want to lead Simipour because it has a pretty solid matchup into Aerodactyl specifically. Oh, but if he's doing that, he's going to be Mega Aerodactyl. I think what I want to do instead then is lead Sneasler Frostlass, so I can try to get a fake out off. And then definitely want Whims in the back here and Milotic. Oh shoot, it locked me into the wrong ones. Okay, well that's fine. Hopefully I won't need it. I did not pay attention to the timer there. At least I got the main things. Right? That's all that matters, right? Alright, so he can't fake me out because I have the faster fake out. And, well, actually, I'm not max speed, so I don't know if Toxicroak is faster than Sneasler, but I don't think it is. And if I go for Blizzard, then I think that I just KO and can get solid damage across the board. I think this is a good play. It's an aggressive opening, and hopefully it makes it so that I don't have to use the Aggron that I brought in the back. One thing that could be concerning is like Toxicroak has like U-turn or something, and then I'd have to play the switching game, but that might not be so bad, considering I did bring Aggron, and he could be my solid switching option. Okay. So if this goes off the way that I want it to, it will KO Aerodactyl this turn. Assuming he doesn't protect and he tries to go for an attack, and or in case he did protect. But I will get solid damage off into... Okay, nope, never mind. Should have just gone for the... Should have just gone for Aurora Veil then. But he wants to play cautiously then. Alright, so if he wants to be cautious, then I'm going to switch in the wall. And go for Blizzard. And fingers crossed I don't eat a... Rock Slide at a ton of damage. I think I hit both targets still. Wow, that did so much damage, even without snow. Alright, so I'm really hoping if I can get Aggron to set up a little bit, he might actually be useful in this match. So what I'm gonna do, Politoed does not get fake out, I believe. So I'm going to Iron Defense, and then I'm going to swap. Actually, no, I'm not going to swap. I just want to eat turns of his Tailwind right this second. No, I should swap because I don't want him to have Rain. Only problem is I don't know what to switch to. Sneasler, I kind of feel like I need. I really wish I didn't have Aggron on the field right now. Okay, realistically, he might send a Flash Cannon into this slot, and I think Sneasler would be better than having Whimsicott eat it, because I would like to outspeed him. Okay, yeah, Sneasler eats that way better than Whimsicott would. He has Encore, though, which means that I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to fake out Politoed, just because I don't want it to be able to Encore lock me into Iron Defense. Good news is, though, is that the wall is, he is sturdy, so if he does take a big attack, then he shouldn't go down in one hit. Alright, who's he? I'm guessing that's going in the Sneasler. Sneasler, I think in his mind, is the bigger threat, but we'll see. Yeah. Sorry, Sneasler. Okay, that was big, big damage. That's the kind of damage where I no longer have to worry about Arch being a problem. So I'm going to Body Press into Politoed, and then I'm going to Tailwind, just so I can outspeed, because I think Arch is still going to be fast. Well, Arch is definitely going to be faster than the wall, for sure. But this will sell. So he does go for the Flash Cannon. It does KO, but Whimsicott got the Tailwind off. And if I can knock out Politoed with the Body Press, Perish Song. Interesting, considering I didn't have Amon on the field, but I understand why he did that. Oh wow, that thing is kind of tanky in a way, I guess. So he can swap. And his Tailwind is now out. So Frostlass can come in. And I can spam Blizzard this turn at least. If he swaps, I don't know what he swaps into. Oh, Toxicroak, duh. So yeah, I feel like I'm pretty free to just click Body Press and Blizzard and just let that kind of go until the Perish Song expires on the wall, and Blizzard goes off, big damage into both, and that should KO Toxicroak with Body Press. I was afraid that he had Perish Song, but luckily it doesn't seem like it's going to matter too much. He probably has no idea that I selected Aggron by accident, but I'm just really glad that it kept my first 3 selections. Oh, because Tailwind, yep. All right, that's a little better than last week, at least so far. I'm gonna tell him GG in the first one. He said that he got he didn't pick up his input on one of his turns, so he got a random move selected. I wonder if that was the Perish Song turn, or... Alright, so... I do believe we just scared him with the fact that Frostlass can one-shot his Aerodactyl. So I'm not sure what he's going to do to make adjustments in the next round. I kind of want to lead Whimsicott and Frostlass again. Because that just puts out a lot of pressure. Aggron was really good. I liked bringing Aggron, but I think I want to change it up. Well, I don't know. He did kind of put in work, and I fully expect to see Arch again. I'm like, I really wanted to find a way to bring Simipour, and I still could, but with it being Mega Aerodactyl, I know I don't KO it. Yeah, I know what. We're gonna bring Simipour. Why not? So he's leading Arch this time. Okay, so I'm going to click Tailwind for sure, and I think that we should see him. He might protect, but I'm going to click Aurora Veil this time and see how that works out for me. Here comes the Mega again. What I really don't want to see is him not protecting. Oh, well, I guess if he's not expecting Fake Out, why would he protect? Yeah. May have caused a conundrum for myself. Oh, Wims might live. I didn't think it would, but... That did a lot, but thankfully it did not do enough. Alright. I feel like I should actually Moonblast into the Arch. I'm really weary of giving it more than one boost, you know? Maybe I can Encore it into Flash Cannon, and then I don't have to worry about it clicking like Electro Shot later. I think that might be better than anything else that I could come up with right now. And I did solid damage into it also, which is really big. And he can't protect on the following turn, so if I bring out Sneasler and I want to CC, then I have that option. I'm so surprised he didn't bring Floette, even as like a change-up, you know? Okay, Rotom... I don't think Rotom was the bring, because it's still it's still, like, weak to Blizzard. I mean, huge turn right there. Double knockout. I don't think I realized how small my Sneasler was. I mean, like, I knew Frostlass was big, but Sneasler looks tiny in comparison. And so does the Poly. That Politoed looks huge. With a Veil. Okay, so with Veil that does KO. Okay, so Tailwind's out, but with the White Herb on Burden Boost, Sneasler's still the fastest thing on the field. And then I think we just finish this off with Close Combat. Guess we'll fake out too, why not? Semi-Pour is huge too. Huh. Okay, so we have taken game 2, which means that we have won the best 2 of 3, but now we have to play game 3, and differential does matter. So, being on the outside of the top 4 right now, I feel like I should actually try, just because I don't know what it's going to be like down the stretch, you know? I don't really feel the need to change up too much, just because I kind of just want to secure the win and, like, be done with it, you know? Like, he has so much, like, he had, like, room for counterplay and stuff, though. Like, Aerodactyl gets wide guard, and it has a fast rock slide. So it's not like he never had room for counterplay. Runegregus, okay. He might be going for, like, a Trick Room strategy. If that's the case, I'm going to go for Blizzard right off bat and try and take it out, because I'm actually not sure what he wants to do with that thing. But I feel like immediate damage into his team can't be bad. I'm also surprised he didn't bring Arcanine this week. Like, I had kind of, like, just had in my mind that he was going to bring his Arcanine. Perish Song, okay. I'll worry about that in 3 turns. Or, like, 2, but... Arch. Okay. So, what I could do is Encore the Politoed into Perish Song, and then just keep spamming Blizzard, because that feels pretty free to do. Although, I guess he is going to Flash Cannon. I don't know if I did reveal Encore last game, actually, because I locked him into Flash Cannon. I'm not sure if Arch's Flash Cannon picks up without, with me not having it. Does pick up, okay. Alright, Whimza fell to 2, Politoed is at 2. I think now we use Sneasler to just try and clean up Arch, and then I should have a pretty good end game into Politoed and whatever else is left. I don't think I like... Um, okay, oh, he's bringing out Aerodactyl. Okay, well, I guess I'm glad that I targeted that slot then. Did I ever Tailwind? I don't think I did. This still might KO though, because... yeah, it does. Sneasler fell to 3, Wims to 1, Politoed to 1. I think I actually want to preserve Whimsicott, just in case. So I'm going to swap Wims for Milotic, and Sneasler has some time on him. I'm going to just CC into Arch, and Politoed should go down to its own Perish. If it Weather Balls, it'll be Ice, and Sneasler should resist, and Sneasler should be faster than Arch, so if Arch doesn't protect... Man, Milotic is huge compared to Sneasler too. Is that like the extra small Sneasler, I guess? I feel like it has to be. Yeah, Perish is really hard. Even with like Gengar, it's still kind of hard to use. So it's like really, really hard to position without like the pieces to trap it in. I don't know that I would recommend using it without Gengar, or definitely not in a situation where your opponent has more pieces than you do. All right, I'm gonna send him a GG for that, and we might try to get him for a post-game interview if he is in the mood for it. I'm gonna cut the recording here.